And so about an hour into this press conference with Donald Trump, we are going to continue to listen, and we'll let you know if any news is made here. But I think it's important, again, after giving him an hour, to do some fact checks. And let's start with the fact that people were killed on January 6th. 2 rioters were killed, and of course, several officers in the wake of that riot. Biden did not weaponize the DOJ against Donald Trump. Kamala Harris did pass the bar. She was the Attorney General of California. He said she wants to take away people's guns. She just named a running mate who is a gun owner and a hunter. She said Josh Shapiro, who was not named as her running mate, was not popular. In fact, he is, for as long as polls have been taken on favorability of Pennsylvania governors, the most popular governor ever in that state. Some of the other things he said, asked by Garrett Haake, I think, which is a very important question about why he thinks she is winning. He said she is a woman, although earlier suggested that she was not winning. In fact, when he said that her campaign is crashing, not true. Her campaign has set fundraising records. She is getting very loud and enthusiastic crowds, and she has been gaining in the poll. This is a race that remains too close to call. But when you look at the trends, clearly the trends are with Kamala Harris. And then he said he was not complaining at all about Kamala Harris being the nominee instead of Joe Biden. And then he went on to suggest that it perhaps was unconstitutional and called her campaign not only crashing, but said she was barely competent, nasty, and clueless, keeping up what has been a tradition with Donald Trump. All the names that he called Hillary Clinton when he was running against her in 2016, suggesting now that he actually was trying to protect her or somehow protected her from prison, when in fact, and this is something he has tried to walk back, but it's on tape, starting in 2016, he said often, lock her up, led chants that were about lock her up. When it was fact-checked by USA Today, they called him saying that he didn't say that. A ridiculous attempt at revisionist history. So those are just a few of the things that we think are important to fact-check about what he said. But what he did say that is true is that he has not recalibrated his strategy at all. What we heard from Donald Trump here is the same kind of press conference you might have heard against Joe Biden when Joe Biden was expected to be the nominee. We also got a bit of news out of this. Apparently, he is agreeing to a debate on September 10th on ABC. That was a debate that Kamala Harris had suggested. 2 others we expect may be on September 4th and the 25th on Fox and NBC. He also suggested that he would like to see one vice presidential debate that he has agreed to on September 25th. And he also said that J.D. Vance, who has taken a lot of criticism for statements he has made, including criticizing what he called a childless cat ladies, is doing a fantastic job.